Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Wicked Easy Cooking. Today I'm with Finnegan. He's going to help me out. Can you say hi?
Hello everybody.
He's got a day off for school for parent-teacher conference, so we decided we're going to make something that he wanted. So we went through our recipe files and he picked out apple fritters with a sugar glaze. So we're going to make those for our breakfast and try those out today. So this is a delicious kind of a fried donut, and it's going to be filled with chunks of apples, and it's got cinnamon in it, and then we're going to top it, as I mentioned, with a sweet glaze. And I have the recipe here, which I will include in the show notes and at the end of this video. So first we're going to do some fritters, and we're going to fry it. I'm going to use canola oil, so we're going to make that right here on the stove. And then we've got in our bowl over here that Finn's going to help me mix in a minute is the flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, cinnamon, and then for our liquids we're going to use milk, eggs, applesauce, and then we're going to fold in some apples into that. And for the glaze over here, which I'll show you in a minute, we have powdered sugar, some milk, and some vanilla extract. So it's really simple, and it's a great thing to get your kids involved, especially on the weekends or something, and it does it pretty quick. Now as far as the frying, you can use a like a Dutch oven or cast iron pan. I'm going to use more of a pot here, but sometimes I bring out the deep fryer. So if you have a deep fryer, it works well with that too. So what do you say? Want to get started?
Yes.
All right. Okay, to start off, I'm going to use my oil, and you want to go about, and I'll put this in here, maybe 1.5 inches or so. You need the fritter to be able to roll in there, but you don't want too much oil. It's kind of wasteful. So again, it's going to depend on the size of your pot, but I'm going to go up to maybe about here, because the size fritter I'm going to use is about 1/4 cup. So that's about 4 tablespoons. So I'm going to use a little disher here, and I'll show you that in a minute, and scoop it in. So as long as it's higher than this, I think we're going to be good. So let me get that in there so I can get it heating up for us. And I'll put this on medium high. Oh, it's going to take it off.
That's a lot of oil.
Sure is. Okay, so we'll turn that on and we'll get that started. You're going to get mixing. So as mentioned, we have, you can use this one to start, and you're going to go slow. And this is 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour that we have in here. And then we're going to do all of our dry ingredients first. So I have 1/4 cup of sugar. So 1/4 cup, that's 2 ounces or 4 tablespoons. You can do the converting. I'll put 1/4 cup in here. So let me spread that around. Go ahead and mix that in. Perfect. And then we're going to have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We're going to add in there. It's going to give us our lift. We've got 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then, easy. Now, best part, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Smell.
Good.
All right. So Finn's going to mix that up. You just want to do it, until it's incorporated a little bit. And then we're going to make a well in the center, kind of like we're making homemade pasta. And in there we're going to put 1/3 cup of milk, 2 eggs, and our 3 tablespoons of applesauce. You can do cinnamon applesauce, regular applesauce, whatever you'd like. Okay, you ready? So make a little hole in the middle. So we'll just kind of do this. Perfect. All right, now I'm going to put the milk right in there, and then you're going to slowly incorporate it.
Okay.
And bring in the flour into it. Awesome. There you go. And then I got 2 eggs here. I'm going to put your eggs in.
Can I crack one?
Sure. I'm going to put one in there for you. Here you go, your own cracker. Right on the side there, that little sharp rim, and acts like a little knife. There you go. All right, now take your fingers and separate it, try not to get any shell. Awesome. You put it right in there. I'll take care of that. You can break up those yolks. Here, let me give you a towel.
Thank you.
You can break up those yolks and slowly incorporate that, and then I'm going to give you the applesauce. Move this out of the way. Okay, and then we got that good started. It's kind of thick. Hold on, I'm going to give you the applesauce. All right. You mix those in nice and slow. Hold your bowl. I'm going to clean up here, and then we're going to make our fritters.
Yay!
Okay, put that off to the side for a minute. And we're going to do some apples. So now we need to do 2 apples.
The green ones are my favorite.
The green ones are your favorites? All right, we'll grab 2 green ones over there. So what you got to do is, they've already been washed because these are our eating apples, and you got to take out the core, and we're going to cut them small dice or so it's inside of our fritter. You don't want too big of pieces, or maybe you do. But you don't want them too small so they break down and they disappear. So I'll show you those. But you can use a corer, and I have some of those. You can take out the core, or an easy way to do it is to cut them in half and then into quarters. So you have the apple that's been quartered here. And then what we'll do is we're going to turn them on their side. Okay, and then you just take your knife on an angle and just cut out the whole core and stem. Then it makes it pretty easy here. So, and then we're going to take this one, do the same thing, and then this one. Hold on. Okay, and then this one. So there. So you can see the cores are out of them. They're kind of flat, and it doesn't really waste that much. We'll do the same thing with the second one. Okay, I'll cut this one, and then this one in half. Same thing. Cool. So I'll clean that mess up. Now, we have these, and what we're looking to do, and when you work with an apple, you got to do it not fast, but kind of fast, because what happens to them?
They rot?
Well, they turn brown, right, because they oxidize because of the air. But if you're going to do this in advance, you just put these in a little bit of water, acidified water, which means with acid. So usually we just squeeze some lemon juice in there, and that'll keep them from turning brown. But we don't have to do that because we're going to do it immediately. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut them into strips, and then we're going to turn them on their side, and we're going to cut little pieces like that, okay? So first you want to do is a good chef always tastes.
Good.
Good? Okay. And then we're going to keep cutting our little...
Okay.
All right. I'm just going to throw these in there. I'll move that over a little closer. And I'm going to go on that side and stir while you... Cut. So I'll give you... You got your little knife there?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. And now that this is all incorporated, I'm going to switch off to a wooden spoon here. You can use any type of spoon that you want to fold this in. And it still looks a little dry to me, and sometimes that'll happen because you don't know, how moist or how much humidity is in your flour. So if you need a little bit more, just add a little bit more milk to it. So I'll steal some from our frosting. Add that in later. All right, we're just going to make this. You don't want it, too loose, like a pancake batter, but you do want it so you can scoop it out. How you doing there? Good?
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, this smells good.
Yes, it does. Very.
Smell the cinnamon, huh?
Yeah.
Let me just show them the batter. So you can see here, kind of pasty. And I'll show you a close-up of that in just a minute, then we'll go to fry it. Alrighty. Great, I'm going to wash this.
Okay.
Okay, next thing you're going to want to do is have a plate with a paper towel on it to absorb the grease when we take it off the oil. Some kind of apparatus to take them in and out of the oil. So I'm going to use some tongs. I actually have a thermometer here. I'm going to test the oil. Typically we want to fry it at about 350 degrees. That's what we'd use in a deep fryer, commercial deep fryer. But obviously if you don't have that, that's okay. You're doing it medium-high heat. And you can tell, maybe put a small one in first as a tester. If it gets too brown, turn down your heat. If it starts to absorb too much, then turn up your heat. So that's what we're really looking for. So, let me help you with that. That knife's not as sharp. I'll cut them into strips and then you can cut them up. All right, let me put these in. Good job, good job. All right, here we go, strips. Okay, now move them back on this side. Then you just have to take them on this like this and go.
Okay.
Okay. You want to try the big knife?
Sure.
All right, be careful, it's sharp. Yeah, use your fingers like this, put them in like a little claw. See, look, let me show you. Let go. See, if you do this, you want to turn it in like this so it rides on this finger, so then you can just go get your fingertips out of the web. Okay, so hold them sideways, hold it straight, fingers out of the way. Go ahead. Good, watch those fingers. Slow, slow. Watch what you're doing. Make sure it's the apple, not your finger. All right, throw them in. Oh, this looks good. I can't wait. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
Okay, so now we've got our apples almost done. I'm going to take that over for you. All right, let me take that over. You go on this side. And now I'm going to give you the frosting to make. Woo! So we have our 2 cups of powdered sugar here. All sugar, a lot of sugar, huh? Then we have our 1/4 cup of milk. I replaced what I stole earlier. And then we have vanilla extract. We need a 1/2 teaspoon of that. I'm going to put it into the milk. You like vanilla?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so. Whew! Ready?
Yes.
I'll put it in with the milk so it disperses. Whoops, that might be too much.
Oh, I can smell it from here.
All right. Now take your little knife there and give that a stir.
With a knife?
Yeah.
Okay. Now do I pour it in?
Okay, pour it in there. Good. Now mix that up.
Okay.
I think our oil is pretty close. Let's see. Yeah, so I had it on medium high, and it's now at 342. So it's perfect temperature. So I'm going to move this over here and finish these apples really quick. Got it? Just make sure you get all the sides there too, okay? Everything got to be incorporated. No leftover powdered sugar.
Yeah. Don't waste powdered sugar.
No, well, it's all turned into a glaze. Powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar. Okay, apples going in.
Okay.
All right, now let me do a pause here for a quick cleanup. Okay. All right, we're back. We're gonna fry. We've got our apples all folded into our batter. I think this may be a good consistency. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's good.
All right, let's test one. We'll do a tester. All right, so we've got our oil, and it is at, dun, 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 dun. What's it say?
2, 3, 60. It keeps going up.
Yeah, it's going up.
75.
Ooh, that's a little hot. So I'm going to turn that down. So it's good for our tester. Now, a good little trick is your disher is dry, hopefully, so it's come out. So if you scoop it, some of it's going to stick. So one of the tricks we use is you can hit this with a little pan spray, or just dip it in your oil. Okay, that puts oil on the all around it. Hear it crackling. I got a little water on it, and that makes it a little bit more greasier. So I'm going to take our fritter here.
Wow.
So one of these, and then we got to be careful because it's hot oil, so we kind of drop it in slow. And there we go. See it frying? Yeah. You can see those chunks of green apples in there, and it's floating, so it's got good space there. It's getting nice and brown. Probably a little too brown because I had it a little hot. But as I add more, it'll drop the temperature. So that's good. And you can see we're on medium high. So it's a perfect temp. So we'll see what happens here. So there's a nice consistency of our batter. And Finn's going to give it a stir right now. And you can see the thickness of it. Yeah, see there. Yeah, see, you want it kind of like that, I'm thinking. Maybe a little thinner would work too, but. All right, so that one's frying up. Looks great. Okay, now we're going to add a few more in. So let's add them in, but you want to try to add them at the same time so you know when the one's done and when not. But I can tell this by the color.
Ready.
Oh, watch your hands. There's a hot. It's getting there.
Already mixed together?
No. I want to make sure it's good and brown. All right, move that out of the way. We got one that's almost coming out. Okay, it's almost ready. So we're going to put it on this absorbent paper here to absorb the oil, and then we're going to put it on a plate. And we have a plate here saying You're fantastic. Finn's Aunt Julie got this for him as a gift, so we're going to use that today as our plate. Okay, our first one just came out. We're going to blot it dry, get off that extra grease. And then we're going to just cut this one open just to test to see how long it took. Just make sure it's cooked all the way through. See how it's a little soft in there?
Yeah.
That means it's not done. So
There's a little raw powder.
yeah, that's why that was our tester. We put that back in. So the trick is to get them all the way cooked without getting them too brown. So you got to kind of adjust your oil and your time. Now if we had a deep fryer, we could tell because we could set the temperature. But here we're kind of eyeballing it a little bit, but that's all right. All right, so let that finish up cooking, and we'll be good to go.
Okay.
All right, so I'm guessing this is going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably about 12. It's going to make like a dozen fritters or so, but again, it's going to depend on the size. If you don't like them this big, you can use a smaller disher, scoop, ice cream scoop, and get a little bit of smaller size, maybe make them, you know, a little portion and give 2 or 3 of them. Or you can make them a little bit bigger. Sometimes you see them, they're kind of flat, more like a fried dough. You can do it that way as well, so, you know, have fun with it.
So much fun.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so you got your frosting?
Yep.
Got our recipe here. We'll put that off. We're going to post that. Give that one last stir. Here's going to be your plate and your fork and a knife. And I am going to pull it out.
Okay.
All righty,
Smells
coming
good.
in. So here we go. Now, go ahead and drizzle some sugar, powdered, some frosting on there. Go ahead. Oh yeah, especially when it's hot. That glaze just goes all over. Give it some more.
I am.
Perfect.
You don't want to drown it though. Drown it in frosting. No way.
Here's a fork for you.
Thank
Fork
you.
for me. Let me cut off a piece for this. Oh, look at those apples. Yummy, yummy. Oh, hot now. Be careful. Don't burn your mouth.
I won't try to. I'll get this little piece.
Go ahead.
Cinnamon strong.
I like your apple. It gives it a
Thank you.
tartness to it. Again, you could use the sweet apple, red apple, whatever you happen to have, but you want it to get to be a firm apple. Then it kind of holds its shape if that's what you're going for. But that's good, huh? I like the applesauce in it too.
Yeah.
And of course, there are lots of glaze that you put on. All right, let's pull these ones off. All right, so now let's make one for your brother.
Okay.
All right, so I got a couple here. We'll put that there. I'm gonna give him 2 because he's a growing boy. This is for Charlie. So now, perfect. Wow, he's gonna love it. So we gotta get a fork for him.
Yes, we do.
And we got a fork and a knife, and that is gonna be, let's show that to the camera. That's a lot. We'll put that right there for him, and he'll grab that in just a second.
I'm just gonna wipe this up.
Okay, we're gonna take one more bite each. All right, let's get one tasted. You got it? What do you think? What's the verdict? Should people try this at home? Alrighty, that's it for today, right? Wicked easy apple fritters with a sugar glaze. And I hope you try this at home. Easy to make, get your kids involved, and make it a family affair. And if you want to see other recipes, please put it in the comments section or send us an email at our email below, or give us a voicemail on our audience response line. Let us know what you want. Maybe you want to see another kid-friendly one. We'd be glad to do that. So until next time, thanks for watching. Be well, be safe, and keep cooking.
Bye. Everybody.
Mm.